Today, I am here to speak about something very, very, very significant. And I'm not saying this to hold you here, but I actually mean it. This is probably one of the most ill understood meanings of a word that we use in our language and our vocabulary today. And probably one of the most significant words and powers at our disposal that actually has the ability to shift our life experience, perspective, and achievements in a matter of a snap of a finger, just because we need to understand it correctly before it works. And until then, it not working does not mean that there is no power to this word. And ladies and gentlemen, whoever is listening to this, after writing and reading and saying and thinking out loud, literally on the spot, which is how I create these vlogs without even stopping them. Last episode, I talked about the formula that I figured out and that would help me replace down symptoms, low vibrations, fear, anxiety, stress with just being content and control at the moment by replacing my expectations of the turnouts, which obviously have in my own mind not being met, therefore leading to my states of displeasure. But it actually immediately, by just replacing those expectations with gratitude for the simplest things in my life, not even for the turnout of the situation that, yes, can always be positive, but just on the smallest, tiniest things. The gratitude has allowed me to actually create a life that is richer, that is fuller, that is wealthier, that is healthier, that is more loving and kind and intense version of whatever it was that I was experiencing when I thought I was in my own peak, being an international traveling performer and promoter and marketing guy and venue owner. Like, I thought I had it all, but it was nothing compared to what one day feels like right now. So, gratitude. Now, here's the thing. When I finished last episode, I thought to myself, why did I leave the gratitude and the formula until the end? And the reason for it is because, honestly, the gratitude itself is such a heavy subject. It just took me months and months to even wrap my head around the fact that I wanted to even practice gratitude, because to me it was such a weak thing to do. And I realized all of my hesitation to even entertain the idea of gratitude came from my deep innate pushback against anything that has a religious connotation to it, because I was raised in a situation where, growing up in a country under a dictatorship that was imposed through the powers vested within the authorities themselves and onto themselves through the vehicle of religion, as it happens, yes, still to this day and age, dictators take the different vehicles. Sometimes it's religion to unite the population behind them. Sometimes it's the national patriots, and there's always something that has to be a belief, a certain unhindering belief and lack of a will to even question. For that reason, it's always something of very high sanctity to these people. Anyways, different topic, but gratitude. So gratitude, this is where it gets interesting. I had to think, and I was thinking, how is that even possible? How And why was I so resistant to even understanding and even studying gratitude? And then by going deeper, I realized, yes, personally, for me, it was the pushback against anything that has to do with religion, because to me, it had just invaded our country and just ruined everything we had for over 1400 years. Everything that was going wrong was because of religion. And obviously, that was me playing the victim, not only for myself, but also as a whole race. I was playing that victim card, which obviously served me no good in life. And how I came to realize that that was the first steps that was needed for me to stop doing and to take responsibility and start acting on how life is treating me and how I treat life, that my life started to shift massively towards a direction that it was now being experienced as my creation and life happening for me versus life happening to me, which is how it used to always feel. So yes, I had a lot of blessings, but they were still accidental. And there were obviously a lot of accidental, unpleasant situations that I ran into. Anyways, aside from the conversation, that's a whole different episode of its own, but gratitude was something that I was fascinated with because its power is immense. Anything that almost we are capable of performing as a human, which is, by the way, a super kind of being, because obviously, for the lack of any better evidence, we have taken over the planet Earth, for better or worse. It's just a sign of our, at least us being on top of the pyramid in three-dimensional form, on this paradigm, on this planet. So yes, we are at the top of this pyramid, but that is not even the point. The point is how and at what point did gratitude, such a strength and such a superpower that create us into super beings, how did that become a weakness? And that was a very important question, because today in our culture, gratitude is being seen as weak, is being seen as thing that the old people do when they go to do their prayers, and it's the boring people that are doing gratitude. But indeed and in fact, that could not be further from the truth, because the truth of the world is that gratitude is the door through which you can step into the realm of presence, which is how you become a creator of your own destiny in life, instead of being the experiencer that is just being thrown around into the walls, feeling like life is just so unfair. So gratitude is the door that you must walk through in order to experience being able to create. And why has its importance been taken away from us? Why has its, and I'm getting towards the end of this 10 minutes, but the reason is because it's been literally in the plans, because it is the only tool that we have as humans that allows us to tap inside and go so deep into the love and create, that it was intentionally taken away from us. And there is history on this, there is science on this, there is so many things that are, there is like Nobel Prize winners that have proved that gratitude can bring absolute different states to mind through the activation of so many, like dopamine and oxytocin, and all of these like amazing feel-good hormones are activated throughout the body by gratitude. And then through the different eras, so we went through so many eras of oppression, and these eras, all of them, got us closer and closer to actually looking at gratitude as a way of being weak, as a way of not being enough and not being individualistic enough. And the era of the Enlightenment era, that was the, after the religions turning the meaning of gratitude on its head, from being internally grateful to being grateful to a higher power. Then the next big milestone came at the era of Enlightenment, where to social Darwinism, and to modern consumerism, each one of them, each era literally starting and then ending, and the next one taking over the meaning that was created within gratitude, which will be the subject of the next video, because it is so important that I share these findings that I have done in my own research, as they have absolutely changed my life quality for just unbelievable dreaming. I am out. Thank you if you're in this far, listening to my journals, and I hope to talk to you again tomorrow.